Actually, they had a fight club uptown in Bronx, but it was illegal.
Oh my
And
God, I
at
remember
the
that.
time, yeah, at the
Yeah.
time I couldn't go either because I was licensed,
Right.
a licensed promoter in the
Right.
state
So
of
you can't
Nevada.
show up to BX Fight Club.
And you see, Floyd will say he doesn't know how we fell out or how anything. Like I never said anything to. Like I just woke up one morning and had a problem with him. But that's not what happened. What happened is we actually he asked me to help him, so I and actually I could stop them from using TMT as their logo right now because I
Well, you wouldn't
incorporate.
do that because y'all cool again.
Yeah, I don't have a. I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you, I incorporated TMT in Delaware while he was incarcerated because he didn't sign the paper. Doesn't mean the corporation is invalid. So I could actually technically it trademarks the term of it because his entire corporation is built on it. So I could tell you, you can't have TMT socks. You can't have that TMT shirt you got on. He don't understand that because it's just not. I just said it, and he won't be able to figure out that I could do that.
Damn, you and this guy, man. I thought y'all was good again.
We are good. I just don't understand why he having the conversation. How am I coming up in conversation? I don't even care about what they're doing.
So there's still some
no,
static.
no, it only happens when it's fight time.
Got it.
It's time to build some type of energy or some sort of press.
Right.
It's time to make a fight, and then that happens.
What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. So we just heard there from your man's big fifth, woofing on Floyd. Now you might know that I'm the first man to jump on Floyd, but I can't stand people woofing for the sake of woofing. There's an old saying. Listen. Don't speak for the sake of speaking. Oh man, you know, I could do this and I could do that and I could do this and Floyd wouldn't know and you know I could own. Why don't you do it then? Like I said, I don't understand people saying things. Just do it. Yeah, take over TMT. Punk him. Why not, innit? If you're that guy, if you're that deep guy, oh Floyd couldn't understand this and I could do this, I could do that. If you're that deep, do it. Do it and then let the world read about it. How 50 Cent punked Floyd. Yeah? What's the point going on the radio and woofing? That's what this culture's about for the main. It's about wearing Gucci you can't afford and woofing about how powerful you are. Oh man, you know, I could do this and I could do that and cock-a-doodle-oo and yes, goofy sounding ass. And the worst thing is, these men are meant to be worth $100 million. Can you imagine? I've never heard Bill Gates or Warren Buffett say, oh man, yeah, I own Bill and you know Bill, I could do this to Bill and I could do that to Bill. They work together. Buffett, all their man work together. Floyd, he broke, he ain't working with no one. He ain't working with no one, but he ain't working with no one but his creditors, yeah? He paying them debts back, 100%. He paying them bills back. Oh man, you know, some people say Maybach and others say Maybach. Listen, we say you best pay your bills back. It's what you best do. You best pay Logan back. Never mind Maybach, you best pay Logan back. Yeah, that's what you best do. But like I said, Floyd and these guys, they ain't work together. They always beefing. And to an extent I understand because this is the entertainment business. These guys ain't really got no value. Apart from entertaining, apart from being show animals, that's their value. Dance and dance for me. That's what bottom line. Yeah, Floyd, 50, they dance for the cabal. The cabal say dance, 50, and Floyd say how much? How much do you want me to dance? How much Gucci and fake jewellery do you want me to wear, Mr. Cabal? And they, guess what, they do it. Yeah, they stay pushing this dumbass, spend money you can't afford, be someone you ain't agenda. It's embarrassing. Especially when these men are 50-year-old now as well. Wow, these men are stuck in a 14-year-old mindset. I've never seen anything like it. It's no wonder the community is the way it is. When you got old ass dudes still stuck in their teenage body. Oh man, you know I'm so powerful and I could do this big move and this, you ain't doing no move, fifth. Although to be fair, there are some. When you actually look at the history, I remember this whole TMT thing came along. I remember 50 Cent trolling Floyd Mayweather about Uriorus Yuriorkis Gamboa at the time, back in 2012 or whenever it was, he was meant to be the hot shit. Seriously, he was meant to be shit hot, he was. Yeah, and 50 Cent was watching Yuriorkis Gamboa on the bag and saying, oh no, Floyd, he coming for you. Yeah, he was meant to be like some next Mike Tyson thing. He was a bum, yeah. Anyway, the point is, at that time, when Floyd went to jail, that's when this whole thing allegedly happened. That's when TMT was set up. Apparently, the legend goes, Floyd was going into jail. He told 50 Cent, 50, I'm going into jail. I want you to set up the money team business. Now, Floyd, his whole life has been saying, oh, I make smart investments and this, that, the other. But it's like, well, Floyd, if you do all these things, why are you asking 50, another show animal, to put your business together? And I've heard from people, I've heard from insiders that the money team, TMT, is a joke. TMT is a shell organization for Al Heyman. Al Heyman pimps fighters through the TMT shell corporation. I've heard from people associated with TMT, like, what's that guy's name, the recent boxer who came out? Is it Jay Leon Love? No, the other one. It weren't Jay Leon. It was the other guy. Either way. He came out and exposed that there's no infrastructure with TMT. TMT is literally Floyd, who's about 50 IQ, giving orders to Leonard Snouterby. That's it. That's as far as it goes. And apparently, the guy who was complaining, he was being managed by Floyd's cousin. Some random dude looking for a come-up. It was shocking. And his whole career got wasted. Forgot the guy's name now. Yeah, it wasn't Jay Leon Love, it was the other one. I remember back in 2012, the money team had all these undefeated fighters. He was one of them ones. And Jay Leon Love was in the mix. They all ended up bums. Yeah, bottom line. But either way, Floyd brought his family in. Brought his bummy, low IQ family in. And it's all a big shambles. Now, 50 Cent, I'm not being funny. What would you own? Like, for example, it would be a stunt to say, yeah, I made Apple. I gave Steve Jobs Apple, and I could take Apple away, because Apple's $1 trillion company. Why is 50 Cent trying to stunt like the money team worth something? The money team is Leonard Snouterby, who is Floyd's bitch. Floyd's 55-year-old bitch. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, imagine being 65-year-old and being a bitch to Floyd Mayweather. Damn. I'm telling you now, I'm 28, and I can tell you this for free. I ain't living a day as a bitch to Floyd. Yeah, I'm telling you this for free. I'm Big Nick to Floyd. Listen, Floyd, Lil Nick to me. Do you understand? That's the bottom line. Listen, as far as any relationship between me and Floyd could go, he always gonna be my Lil Nick. I ain't taking no orders from that funny style cat. And I'm 28 years old. Imagine being 65 and still having orders barked at you. Imagine being Floyd's errand boy at 65-year-old, like Leonard Snouterby. And that's what the money team is. The money team is a shell organisation for Al Heyman to pimp people through. And it gives Floyd some clout. Oh man, you know, I got a business, even though there is no business, and even though there's no infrastructure. Seriously. If you rang the money team office, there'd be no one to answer. Your phone call would go straight through to Leonard Snouterby's direct line. That's the kind of setup they've got. They've got nothing. There's no depth to it. There's no there's no management. There's no HR. It's a pure shell. And it gives Floyd a platform to gas the place up from. Because before TMT came along, Floyd didn't have nothing. Now, he's got a shell company. It makes him sound important. Oh man, I got businesses. No, you've got Leonard. Yeah, you've got your errand. You've got your 65-year-old errand on. That's all you got. That is the money team. Seriously. What, you think it's a coincidence? You ain't seen no one. Name me one. Put it this way. For the 10 years we've seen Floyd and the money team in the public, name me one other employee you've ever seen working there. Oops. Oh, it's bad. For example, you can look at DAZN or Showtime or Eddie Hearn or Top Rank. They've always got people there, haven't they? all their subordinates. All you ever see is Leonard. Oops. It's bad right now. The TMT don't exist. TMT is like, well, it is. TMT is a merch company. That's it. TMT sells merch on Teespring, which it doesn't even count as a company. He's just printing stickers on T-shirts and calling it a company. These days, you can set that up in 10 minutes. It's not a company, don't count. Oops. Yeah. So, 50 Cent capping. 50 Cent trying to make himself sound more important, implying that TMT's worth something. Listen, 50. What you're saying would be a stunt if TMT was worth a lick. TMT, unless you want to take ownership of a 65-year-old... unless you want to take ownership of a 65-year-old butler. That's the bottom line here, people. Leonard Noserby is a 65-year-old butler. That's it. He's Floyd Mayweather's butler. Glorified managerial butler. He walk around and do the chores for Floyd, doesn't he? Genuinely, all jokes aside now, let's get serious. Leonard Ellaby, he a butler. Yeah, there's no other definition. When he applied for a job with Floyd, it was the role of manservant. Yeah, you are a 65-year-old manservant for Floyd. Wow.